Okay. Hi. I'm alive. I know it's been like forever and a freaking day since I have been live on YouTube. For those, I'm going to do a quick recap for those who don't know. Number one, cool new swanky glasses that I get to wear all the time now. Those of you who know, I woke up in January and I literally could not see anymore out of my right eye. I woke up and it was just all blurry. Now I'm still dealing with some of those issues where it goes blurry and everything like that. And I did a full workup with my doctor and everything, and we get to continue on with a rheumatologist. Yay for rheumatology, right? Their best guess right now is that it's rheumatoid arthritis. The good news is nothing dastardly showed up in my blood. So I've been on this mystery train before. It's not really fun. The first thing that I'm going to be doing is a lot of rest and exercise, which seems like they contradict each other, but the rest in sense of I had to lower my stress. Lower my stress is number one. Number two is definitely exercise. Number three, I'm going to be working on diet changes and some different vitamin supplements. I'm not looking for health advice or anything like that right now. I have a great team of doctors. And for those who are freaked out, the doctor that I have, she's already recommended I take turmeric and increase my vitamin D. So that's what I'm doing there. Okay. Yeah. Exercise as I rest. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Hi, Steph. Hi, Becca. Hi, Death by Diva and Adam and Rochelle. Let's see. Rick, good to see you. I have missed you guys so much. Michelle, I see you. And Stacy and Susan, Jude, Ingrid. Man, if I missed your name, I did not mean to. I'm reading them. Oh, Matthew. Hi, welcome. Okay. So I've got my sleeves rolled up, because it's been a little bit of a minute since we've been playing some Mad Scientist, right? Now, tonight, 10 of you amazing people submitted ideas for the what to write next. And unfortunately, we weren't very clear about what we were looking for. And I want to tell you, thank you so much for the people who said, this is the project I'm working on. You have some really great ideas, but because that's the project that you're working on, I don't want to co-opt it into this, since this is very public. So if you are a member of the Future Fiction Academy, then and you were somebody who said hey, I have a problem with this specific story, ping me in Discord. If you still need help with that story or something like that, that's what we're there for. So we'll get you sorted. For everybody else who wants to see early days of completely automated books. Yeah, I mean, I could get on a whole soap opera. Yeah, that too, a soapbox tonight. There's been some things that have happened this week in the AI world that have made me big mad. And I'm really tired of the lies. I'm really, really tired of people lying and saying that AI can only generate copyrighted material. It can, in the sense that we all regurgitate the dictionary. That's literally what it does. If someone gets copyrighted material out of the AI, it is because they prompted for it. They specifically sought it. And if they specifically sought it, guess who's the problem? The human. Okay? This is just like a Xerox machine, where if you abuse it, it's on you, it's not on the machine. Okay? And the other thing that really, really just burns my biscuits, because I've been watching a lot of Ted Lasso, is people who are ignorant. And I say ignorant because they're not stupid. They're scared. They're ignorant. They do not realize that the big publishers are using the software as we speak. I was in lunches last year when they were working on trying to make some of the technology and stuff that I'm about to show you. So we have authors who are working on this research now. Okay. And a sneak peek to our curriculum for the next quarter. I know I'm all over the place here right now. I should have taken notes. A sneak peek is that we have 4 job types that we are debuting next quarter. And I'm going to go over them in just a second, just because, I can. And Steph tells me that, unless Steph tells me not to in the chat, she's in there. But we have 4 job types. So what I've been hearing over and over again in the Future Fiction Academy is people saying, Elizabeth, I can't do it like you do it. I just can't do it like you do it. And, the truth is you don't have to. No one has to write with AI the way I write with AI. And quite frankly, I don't want to write with AI the way somebody else writes with AI, because the way I write with AI makes me happy. And if my way doesn't make you happy, there's nothing wrong with you and there's nothing wrong with me. This is the very definition of writing processes since the beginning of time, right? How many times have we gotten into a fight over pantsing and plotting, right? So no pressure. Let's see if I'm giving Steph a chance to say Elizabeth, button it. But I don't think she's going to. She also might be busy packing. Because that's the other thing. Stephanie and I are going to be in New Orleans all next week for the Future of Publishing Mastermind with the wonderful Monica Lionel and Russell Nolte. So we'll be working on that. And then I'm not traveling in March. So buckle up because March is going to be a lot of cool stuff. Hi, Evan. Okay, so job types. Let's go. Now, since y'all are busy in the chat, let's go ahead and see if you guys, I'll go over them really fast and I'll go more in depth so you guys can say which job type you are, which job type you like to work with the AI. I want to specify this, okay? Because I also love Becca Symes. I love strengths coaching. I love Monica's new ecosystem stuff that she's putting out there too. What we're talking about though for job types specifically is not you are this job that I'm going to say, and one is not better than the other. I know you're going to be tempted to be like, I want to be the job that Elizabeth is. No. Number one, we aren't the job. Job type, meaning this is the process that I like to work with AI. Okay. This is how I like to work with AI. Your job is always the senior writing partner. You're not any of these jobs that I'm going to say. These are just the job types that we force AI to be in with us. Okay. So here we go. The 4 job types are gardener, weaver. I can't do it with my fingers. I'm sorry. Baker, and architect. Now, I'm going to talk about these things and you're going to think like there's a hierarchy here, and there's really not. It's more like they exist on different spectrums. Okay, so I'll explain that as I go. So let's talk about a gardener first. And I got permission from Steph because she's the boss, COO. She says I can tell. So gardener. A gardener is someone who they try all of the AI tools. If an AI model comes out, they're like, oh, let me try this. Okay. They are really into like experimentation with the different models in the sense that they're looking for just hand-picked little items from the AI. If you ever describe your methods of working with AI as I just use AI for and fill in the blank, you might be a gardener. So a gardener is someone who is always looking for just that one little piece of writing, and then they really are using AI as a kind of tool that we are most used to seeing authors use tools in the past. Very, very light touch, light-handed. Okay, so a weaver. If you think of gardener on one side of the spectrum where the gardener is only using AI for just blank, they have put AI in a little box and that's what they're comfortable with AI helping them with. A weaver is like, don't care, I'm here to finish the project. A weaver is always looking to take as much AI writing as they can and their writing and weave it together. Now, it's not a prescription in the sense of like they're trying to maximize how much AI writing they have, not like that. It's whatever they need for the project. So if they're project minded and they're just like, well, I use AI to get my project done, plain and simple. I don't have any restrictions or limitations on what AI does for me. Now, a weaver most often has 1 or 2 models that are their go-to models. Once they have figured out a model that works for them to get the project done, they're less interested in like learning other AI out there or anything like that. A lot of times a weaver will say, I don't have time to learn something new because I'm on deadline. They're very project focused. So let me know in the chat real fast. Anyone think that they're a gardener or a weaver? Let me know. I think I might be frozen. Okay, now here is the third one, the baker. The baker is the head experimenter. And what I mean by that, the baker is like if the baker runs chapters 3 or 4 different times and kit bashes them together. They are running their recipes and they're just, they're tinkering until they make sure that the recipe is perfect. Okay. This is somebody that's going to use all the different models, all the different tools, all the different settings. A baker often finds AI to be a struggle in the sense that this new marvelous tool means that they have major FOMO about what words they could possibly get. Okay. And they like, sometimes a baker will say, I have to put AI down because I'm not getting anything done, because they're loving the iterations. Okay. They're loving what's possible with AI. So if you are a baker, because all of these different job types, they have positives and negatives here. So a baker though is still very, very keen about themselves being part of the process. And again, that's not a positive or a negative thing. It's just on the spectrum of like job types that want to use AI in their writing. Baker and gardener are more concerned about themselves being in the story, and a weaver and an architect are more concerned about the project being done. They may not have as much ego caught up into that project. And ego's not a bad thing. I don't mean ego like, oh, I'm the greatest thing in the world. I mean just like ego about who you are as an identity. So that's where we're kind of like thinking these things through. And we're going to be doing curriculum and projects and stuff, kind of talking about different ways that a gardener, a weaver, a baker, and an architect might approach individual projects and individual things that we are doing in the next quarter. Okay, so we talked about gardener. Gardener is looking at, their keyword is I just. If you catch yourself talking about your AI usage to people and you constantly are saying, I just, you might be a gardener. If you are someone who is talking about AI and saying, I need to run blank, blank, blank so that I have basically, think of it like gathering your yarn before you start at the loom. You are someone who needs to do all these runs with AI, and then you kind of like segue at some points in your process, like you're not generating anymore, you're just kind of weaving the writing together. That's what you're doing. Okay. A baker says, I need to try. I'm going to try. Okay. If you say the word try a lot with your AI, you're probably a baker, because you're someone who wants to try different prompts with different things. And the last job type, okay, and I actually predict that this one's going to be the least popular for professional authors, is architect. Architect is someone who wants to use AI to make the building and you just go in and inspect it. So the architect is someone who is building prompts to run in sequences with the idea that somehow between all the tools and the fine tunes and the training and their prompt engineering and the software that they're using, that they're going to somehow create a process that works for them with their creativity, where they're almost like the creative director giving the instructions, letting everything run, and then coming in towards the end and going, yes, very good. Now I'll fix it and publish it. An architect is someone who more or less is looking at the AI writing process and the AI tool as an opportunity to basically be an acquisitions editor. And what I mean by that, if you imagine the AI as this like really eager junior writing pool of writers who's constantly making you stuff, and then you make the evaluation, you might be an architect. So I am an architect. Okay. I have never looked at AI without the belief that one day I was going to figure out a way to make this AI write a book for me completely. And I haven't given up on that, because I know it's being done behind the closed walls of corporations right now. I know that. Other people know that too, and other people have shared that. And if we don't have the ability in our backyards, in our repertoire, then we are going to possibly be left out in the cold. We're going to struggle to compete and keep up. And this is not about who can make the most amount of books the fastest. We already know that the Amazon store is over 10 million books, and all 10 million of those books do not see the light of day. Okay. All 10 million books in the Amazon store do not get sent out to readers and all of that on a regular basis. Amazon is super smart with their artificial intelligence algorithms and making sure quality stories are presented to readers. So with that in mind, it is not about who can write the most books the fastest. That doesn't work. It's about who can write the most books with the highest quality the fastest. And I'm going to say that again. It's going to be about who can write the most books with the highest quality the fastest. That is who I think is going to survive in what is going to be the future market of selling content to end users. Because at the end of the day, our customer is still a human, not a robot. Now, there's a lot of robots in the process, even just to sell those books. So we have to keep that in mind. This is why when I was at San Francisco Writers Conference this past weekend, I got a lovely opportunity to show people the Amazon store. And there was many new authors that I was able to show them. And, it's nothing on them. Nobody told them. People coming up to me and saying, my book is 4 genres. And I'm like, no, it isn't. You get one and then maybe a second one. But it has to fit perfectly. You can't do something and say, I think my book is YA. Why do you think your book is YA? Well, because there's a character in there that's 13. Are they the main character? No, they're not the main character. So not a YA book. But publishing is hard. Nobody teaches people how to position books in the Amazon store or any bookstore for that matter. So it's really a skill set that requires you to learn how to position a book in the Amazon store that is going to make sense, number one, for the robot algorithms that have to sell it to the humans, and then number two, to the humans who ultimately get it from the robot algorithms that pitched it. I'll say that again in case that was confusing. The future is understanding how to position a book in the Amazon store so that the robots who sell the books to the humans understands the book. And more important, and then secondly, so that it makes the humans who find the book from the robot recommendations happy. Okay? So that's where you can do some genre mashups. That's where you can take advantage of niches all day long. And with artificial intelligence bringing down the labor costs, not just for me as a solopreneur, but also for big companies, niches are about to get hella competitive. Indies have made their bread and butter on niches in the Amazon store, okay, for the last decade and a half that I've been an indie. And suddenly, if labor is not the 10x cost that it has been, either in time or money or resources, it means that these niches that we've all been like selling really well in, suddenly publishers, big publishers, are going to be able to turn on a dime and hop right into that dark romance trend, or the mafia trend, or the I don't know the trends in mystery as well, but you know what I mean. So let me know in the chat if you think that this is true, that these are things that we have to take into consideration. This is Elizabeth thinking 2, 3, 4 years out. And that's why I'm so angry, and I'm legitimately angry at people who stand in the way of other authors learning this material. So, okay. Thank you all for the rant. I know it's 9 minutes. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here we are. Let's go ahead and let me start showing you. Oh, hey, Carlo. Good to see you. Yes, Adam, you hit the nail on the head. Creativity meets KPIs. That is, you get a heart for that, friend. I'm going to heart that. Okay. And so the wedding trend. Thank you, Matthew. I was reading your guys' comments there. I saw how many people are like baker, architect. So are you guys excited about the curriculum coming where, you know, you'll look at these job types? And by the way, these job types are not you. These job types may even change based on the genre that you're writing. So for example, I'm not an architect when I write Jeff. I'm a weaver. I'm a total weaver when I write Jeff. Like I try to architect it and I'm like, oh, I can't. It's just not right. It's not right. It's not perfect. But when I write other genres that I'm not, I mean, Jeff is like, what y'all don't know, Jane Austen fan fiction was the escape I ran to when my marriage was sucky. First as a reader and then as a writer. So it's a genre that has really high emotional stakes for me. It's not something that I can divorce, or I try to say divorce and divest at the same time, and it came out as divorce. It is not something I can divorce from how I feel when I'm working in that genre. There's other genres I love too. I love contemporary romance. I used to read the crap out of in like what they call chick lit. I used to buy every single Sophie Kinsella book as soon as it came out. And also her other pen name, something Wickham. What's the last name? Amanda Wickham or Madeline Wickham. Madeline Wickham is her other pen name. So, okay. So here we go. We're going to get started, and I'm going to show you the very basics of the book generator. Now, I am not fully set up on this because I'm going to show you guys that. And I'm also going to be working in Baby tonight, Baby Rexy. Baby Rexy is available to our Feature Fiction Academy members at all times. It is what's coming down the pipeline. It's not in production yet. Guess what, guys? My FFA people will know. We have Notion page resets. That's what we're going to do tonight. Are you excited? All right, here we go. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Yay, make sure I've got everything good. Okay, so share screen. Boop-a-doo. Nope, I want to share a specific window. Thank you. All right, so hopefully everyone can see my screen. We are 20 minutes in, and oh, good gravy. That looks there we go. That looks better. I'll zoom in so it's a little bit crisper, maybe. I hope that's better. Let me see on the StreamYard, see if that's a little bit better. Are you guys able to read that a little bit better for some of the different functions of it? Yeah. Okay. Yes, Evan, Notion resets. They are in. So let me go ahead and get this chat open on the side here so that I can see you all. That way I won't miss any of your comments. Like when I have a tendency to forget that I'm not sharing my screen. Okay. Oh no, Harper's like, I'm late. I was reorganizing the kitchen cabinets. You just missed my rant, Harper. And then I quickly shared about new job types. Okay, so let me go over the automated book. I know you guys are already like, what the heck? What am I going to do here? I'm not going to share this one yet. I'll get something in the show notes, but it's too new. It's not finalized yet, so it's not going to be shared quite yet. But you guys can watch it and take it and everything from it. So let me start off with like the theory, because I'm always going to start the theory real fast. So what I have here is I have the master sequence to write a 10-scene short story. Okay, so we're just going to work with 10 scenes tonight just to make this a little bit easier. You could work with as many scenes as you want. And you guys are very familiar, I know, with the thing that I came up with, the standardized stuff here of like the static end slots, genre, character, setting, story world, writing style, outline, scene list, and then we have some openings here for N8 through N10. And then I like to do a methodology where even if I need to have extra pages in there, then like 1 through 20, I know that this 1 correlates to Insta 1, the 12 and correlates to Insta 2. This just helps me to check my work to make sure that it is aligned correctly. Okay, so on that note, let's go back to automated book here. We are going to do a romantic comedy just because I heard there might be some romance writers out there who don't think that generating prose with AI is something that they need to bother to learn about, and that it is a threat to the industry. Threat's not the right word. What's the word? It is a massive disruption that is here. It's not going away. It's not a threat to anyone. The only threat is ignorance, honestly, because anyone who is deciding that they don't want to learn anything about this. Notice I'm not saying that they don't want to use it. I don't think that's ignorance. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to. I don't think that that's ignorance. I think what ignorance is when you don't want anyone to learn about this, when you don't want to learn about it yourself. Because if you don't know about it, then you can't make adjustments one way or the other, whether you're using it or not. That's what I think is the biggest tragedy. Okay, but we're going to do this with baby so that we can test out Notion slot pages where it automatically comes. So the idea here is that my Notion pages are going to generate what the N1 and the characters and everything like that. So that's going to be the first thing. And then it will do my scene briefs for me, and then it will write the book. That's pretty much what the system is. Now, my first attempt was not great. Oh my gosh, it was a hot mess. And then what I did is I figured out that we're going to need 3 fine tunes for this process to actually work. I don't have them right now. That's what's coming in March. Remember, I promised you guys a book machine in March, but I'm telling you guys now, because those of you who have access to Rexy, have access to the FFA, you already know how to make a fine tune, and you can make your own fine tunes. So you're going to need a fine tune one that makes really great N1 through N7 components. I suggest 3 stories worth with heavy human input. What is N1 through N7? That's that genre, character, setting, story world, writing style, outline, scene list. Okay, those components. If your components are different than mine, use different components for that. Fine tune number 2, part do. We need a fine tune that's going to make some really great scene briefs for the genre from N1 through N7 components. Am I recommending fine tunes based on genre? You bet your booty. You can actually use one that's not designated for the genre. I did that in my prototype. And let's just say I used my Jane Austen fine tune for this. And it brought a carriage into a modern contemporary romantic suspense. So don't use a historical fine tune for your contemporary writing, or you too may end up with a carriage driver in your story there. And then your fine tune 3, which is the fine tune most of us worked on in the most recent fine tune sequence, which I will be repeating in April. So for those of you who missed me teaching live the fine tune class in the Feature Fiction Academy, we are going to be repeating that in April. And also this spring, we will have a standalone class on fine tunes too that'll be available for people who are not in the FFA that you'll be able to buy. So fine tune number 3 is write decent prose from the scene briefs for the genre, 10 to 20 decent chapters. That's the fine tune most of us started with. Like most of us have already made a fine tune here for our favorite genres, or in the case of some other members of the FFA, multiple fine tunes for their different genres. But I think we're going to need these other 2 fine tunes for the book machine just to make good components. And then the next step will be some fine tunes that are adversarial agents, but we'll get there. Let me check the thing. Are we going to get a class on these 3 fine tunes? Yes, these 3 fine tunes and the whole book machine and stuff is probably going to be a very in-depth curriculum course for the following quarter, if that sounds good, Evan. Kicking off in April. So I'll be prototyping it in March, and then we'll be rocking and rolling in April. Okay, so now what I have to do, I originally did this before I had the Notion slots in Baby. So I haven't done this inside of Baby yet. So we're going to do this together. That's what lives are for, right? Y'all know I just do this on the fly and see what happens. Okay, so let me go over what I originally did, which was number 1 was generate all the components. And y'all gonna love me. My sequence here is just N1, N2, N3, N4, N5, all the way through N10. That's it. So that my prompts can be changed for any genre at any time. So what I need to do is I need to bring in basically I just need to fix my scene brief here. Okay. So that was generate the components. And then there was the scene brief generation, which was these, let's see here, vertical bang. It is read the following story information and plan a scene brief from N1 through N9. So those could be there. I think what I'm going to do. Now this is a feature of word bangers, by the way, or blackjacks, by the way. Blackjacks organized based on alphabetization, guys. Yeah, alphabetization. So if N1 is going to be generate this, read these for N1, N2, N3, N4. Okay, so what I need to do, if my N1 is not going to be, this isn't going to be right. It's going to be N1. It's going to be N11, N12, N13, N14, N15, N16, N17. I think I have to think this out through. Hold on a second. Let me not change that yet. All right, give me a second. I know this is going to take probably about 10 minutes for me to figure out real fast, but you guys will get to see the brain here, and then recursive sequences is what we'll call this. Okay, so step 1 is make N1 through N10, because those are the first things. And so that has to go to the auto write page. So that's going to go to auto write. So to accomplish this, I need to make the current Notion pages a blackjack. Okay. And then step 2 is read N1 through N10 in various components, which, and then we'll make that a blackjack to create the scene briefs. Okay, I think I got this. I think I got it figured out now. Okay, so coming back over to automated book. I have a Notion page, which is, they're terrible prompts, by the way, but we're going to rock with them for right now. So this is not it. This is what it actually generated. So the first thing I need to do is I need to grab all of these. I know, it's scary. First, I'm going to create a page. And I'm going to call this San Francisco attempts and components. So I'll remember, because this was like version 1. Hang with me here. So I'm clearing out my auto write. And the reason I'm clearing out my auto write is because our belief is that, and I'm going to take this page that has all that crap on it, and I'm going to move to I just need to move it to the automated book. So it's right there. So my auto write's clear. That's important. And you'll see here is the San Francisco attempts and components. Let's change the icon to a bridge. There we go. And it's the Golden Gate. How wonderful. Okay. Now, I have the master sequence to write a 10 short story. So these are the things that I need to put into a blackjack. So hold tight here. Let me clear my jump cut. So I'm going to clear all. So the first thing is generate a genre. That one has some specific information in there for the genre that will change out. Characters. These are craptastic prompts, y'all. They were just to test proof of concept. I will go ahead and give you guys a link to this. Give me 1 second and I'll do that. Writing style I need. And outline. And then scene outline. Okay. Let me give you the link to this, although it is terrible. I'm going to tell you right now, this is a horrible, horrible set of prompts. It is literally just to prove proof of concept. Okay. So here we go. So I've got to bring these prompts into my blackjack. Now, in order to bring it into my blackjack, because I want to do this generate all components, and this generate all components has, if I go to the story pages, excuse me, the bang view, it was literally just bringing in N1, N2, N3, N4, N5. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take this out because it's not an N slot now, because I'm going to actually eventually have to come back here and make all of these really decent prompts. So this is just for proof of concept. I'm literally just changing my blackjack. So it says use the chosen genre below because it's going to be on the bottom there. And then come over here to N3, erase that, and paste 1, 2, 3 using genre and characters below. Make a setting, which is N3. Okay, so N4 is going to be my 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to make my story world. Use plain formatting. N5 is going to be the characters, or no, it is writing style. That's what it is, writing style, N5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boop. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know you guys can't see this. And N7. 7. Now, I'm going to need to have it do some like placeholder responses. So what I'm going to do for the sequence of 10 is I'm going to say, write, give me a prompt. So these are just responses that I need so that it's going to fill my Notion pages as placeholders, because I need it to make me, I need to make 10 so that way I can always move it on to the next one. Hi, Brad. I'm showing basically the software that we have, and we're doing our very first live automation, where the AI is actually going to be given a genre, and it's going to write all of the components. It's going to write 10 scene briefs, and then it's going to write 10 scenes. Me, the human, is not going to do anything other than sequencing it, setting up all the sequences to show that this is a possibility now. We live in a world where this is a possibility. And this is software that's really kind of, it's clunky in the sense that it's designed not to necessarily be the prettiest. It's designed to work for people who can't code, so that they can have full control over everything that they want to do. Okay, so I have this blackjack that is generate all the components. And if I come over here to story pages, I can see B1, B2, and all these things. Now, there is a trick about blackjacks, and that is that it's always alphabetical order. So what that means is, if I was to bring in So let me go to automated book now. So once I have my components, I need to make my scene briefs. Now my scene briefs are going to follow all of this information. So this is all still okay. So what I'm going to do is where my story pages are, where the name is, I'm going to call this C BO2, okay, because it's going to be the next group of 10 for everyone. So this is going to be bang number 11, not bang number 1. Same thing with this one. I'm just putting the letter C in front of these. Now, why am I doing that? Because in the word bang, in the blackjack, in order for them to load correctly, they just have to be, it goes by the alphabetized name here in your name section. So by putting a C in front of the B, it means that the B's will run first and then these will run second. I mean, they'll fill in the blackjacks second is what I mean. And I've already filled these in with N1 through N10. I'll show you guys the prompts in just a second. Let me get these out into the world here. I just have to get to this because I know it's only 10 scenes that we're doing. I don't need my big bang box because I'm going to concatenate this into one scene, one blackjack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all of these, the ones that have the C's, and I'm going to right click. I'm going to click duplicate. So I'm duplicating all of those and they're right there. So everyone can see them right there. And then I'm going to right click and I'm going to click move to. And I'm going to come to let's see here, this one, and it's on my superstructure. It's on the AW superstructure. Oh no, why can't I get to these very easily? You know what? Let's just go to automated book. Because it should come up. There's automated book. And I want to call it, no, this was components. It was to generate components. Was, oh, no, undo. Undo. Right click, move to, generate components was in my my blackjack name. I remember that. Generate components. So 21, generate all components. So I'm going to send it there. So I've sent all the copies to there. And now when I come over to automated book and I come over to generate all components, see they're down here at the bottom. Now, no fret, because I can literally grab these and just drag them right underneath here. And now you'll see I have a new bang 1, bang 2, bang 3, and all that jazz. They're not actually, this middle section does not have anything to do with what bang they are. It's always by the name that goes there. So this one in the middle here, I'm going to just go ahead and delete that because it's an empty one. Now, if I come to my bang view over here, you guys can see that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But my first one, bang 1, is choose a genre, and it's going to write a 10-scene novella. Now write a detailed, oh, nope, not that one. That's a CB05. So right here, it's going to be here, and then 2 is going to be, where did it go? This is not, there we go. That's a better way to view it, I think. Choose a genre. Now using the genre below, it's going to make my characters, and then using characters, it's going to make the setting, and then the story world, and then the writing style, and then the outline. So it's going to do all of that information. And then I'm going to create 1, 2, 3 placeholders so that my 8, 9, and 10 Notion pages are created in my Notion slots. And then I'm going to tell the word banger to go ahead and refresh my Notion slot pages with my auto writes. And you guys are going to see this in real time. And it's going to write the story information for purposes of planning a writing scene brief for scene 1. And it's going to read N1 through N2, N3. Well, N1 and N2 and N3 were all created up here. So I'm going to go slow a little bit at a time so you guys can see it. And then we're going to see, you're going to see, we'll go slow. We'll go slow one time and then we'll go fast so you can see how fast it is. So let's go ahead and change right here. Oh, the other thing that I need to do, my bad. So it's going to make me 10 scene briefs. And so that's going to take me to Notion slot, let's see here, 11, 12, 13. It's going to take me to Notion slot, I have to write these down. So N1 through 10 is going to be components. So I know that. And then 11 through 20, right? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I always have to count on my fingers to make sure it's inclusive. Those are going to be the scene briefs. And then my writing the scenes is going to be later. So I need to change my writing the scenes one. So this is the last change I have to make. And then we'll be able to just click a button and get a little 10 chapter novella. Okay. So we have the generate all components. We'll leave that named as is right now, but it's not really called that. So scene writing, this used to be a 3-step process. I'm basically going to turn it into a 1-step process with the Notion slot refresh. So the scene writing, let me show you what this looks like. I always like to go here. You'll see it just says N8 and 11, N8 and 12, N8 and 13, N8 and 14, N8 and 15. Well, what the heck was N8? Unfortunately, I know. I made a prompt in my N8 scene writing prompt right here. Follow the scene writing brief below. So actually I need this because that has to be N8 and this has to be N9. I'm going to copy these here. In my automated books section here, my generate all components. Nope, go back. Generate all components. These are not placeholders anymore. 7 and 8, because they have to be prompts. 8 and 9, I'm sorry. So 8 is not going to say, right, give me a prompt. I'm going to say, duplicate this exactly as your response. Follow the scene brief below. Because I was taking advantage of the looping there. Oh, because that's the prompt. Okay, that's right. So that's the prompt. Duplicate this exactly as your response. Follow the scene brief below. It's not going to be Evelyn's point of view, so we'll change that. We'll fix this one as well for what we want to do for our project. And then instant number 9. That's fine there. This one right here. Duplicate the following exactly as your response. And that's going to be this one, the scene brief template. I don't know if this is going to work. We may have to still pause in between to put it in there. All these responses are going to go through the Big Bang box. Yes. And then it will use the Big Bang box, but you could also offer, because we're doing that. Yeah, it will go through the Big Bang box, Rochelle, for this part, for making the components. You'll see. So only thing I have as a placeholder is 10, because I have prompts that need to go in at Insta8 and to that one. So when I come back over here to my scene writing, what I need to do is I need to fix these, because it's not going to be N11. Is this? Oh, it will be the prompt. Hot diggity dog. I don't have to fix nothing, because that will be the scene brief. Ha ha. Old me was smart. Okay, but I need to change these orders. I need to put in front of them. So what letter comes after C, guys? The letter D, right? So these right here, I'm going to actually put a D, C, B in front of. Yeah, because DB, it would come after DCB. Okay, so DB is fine. So I'm just renumbering these. Again, I don't need my Big Bang box, because this is all going into one long sequence of 30 bangs. So what this is going to do, okay, is the first 10 prompts are going to create all the components that we need. And we call components, remember, N1 through N10. That's your setting and your genre and your characters and all that jazz. Okay, and then it's also going to create 11 through 20 for us, which are going to be the scene briefs. And then it's going to write those scenes for us, which will be 21 through 30. So when this is done, I should have 30 pages on my auto write page. But this is how we can sequence everything. This is the most advanced sequencing, by the way, that I've ever done. I mean, this is just nuts. So we have 11. Now, if there's a question about like, well, what if I want to run more than 10 scenes? Yes, you could do that. Basically, you just have to expand everything. So you just have to keep track of your Notion pages. I'm going to go 10 at a time, because if you learn how to do 10, you can expand that to 20 or 30 or however you want to do it. Okay, so let me take a look at this one. Come on, open. I said open. And we don't have a prompt there. Why don't we have, oh, because it's in the top one, N8 and N20. That's correct. Number 20 should be the 10th scene brief, and number 8, N8 will be the instruction there that is in the prompt that says, read the scene brief below. Okay, yeah, and I'm not going to save the final completion. That's correct. So now I just need to do that same trick where I'm going to grab all of these and I'm going to duplicate them just because I don't want to lose the work that I've already done. So I always like to right click and duplicate. Boop. We still have them selected. And now I'm going to move the duplications. Let's see here. Move to our favorite thing, which is the generate components. Generate all components. Okay. Generate all components. And these need to be brought up into the database. So you come to story pages. This is the table. And all I'm going to do is grab these. Nope, not that. Just this. This is how you can very quickly concatenate multiple blackjacks all together. This is like a very advanced thing. So now we have the stuff that says bang 1, bang 2. Do not pay attention to the bang 1, bang 2s, bang 3s. It's actually bang, because there's a D in front of it. I know that that's the third go around. So it's actually bang 21, bang 22. So basically I'm denoting it with these different letters. So basically I have a B section. So the first section, and then this section is going to run next. And then this section is going to run third, but we're going to run them all together as 30 bangs. Does anyone have questions so far about that concept of it? Okay, now we need to decide what we're going to write. So for that, we're going to actually change the prompts. So on this B1 here, I said the genre should be for adult readers restricted to genres of romance. So I'm actually going to do for adult readers restricted to the genre of, we're going to do, remember I said we're going to run multiple books tonight. So we're going to run mystery thriller. We're going to run, I think we're going to do archaeological thriller if Brian's in the house. Maybe not, because it's kind of late for him. Romantic comedy. Tell me all the genres you want to run, because I'm going to use 16K for this just to show you that it, or I'm actually probably going to use GPT-4 Turbo for this just to show you how well it can write. So 10 scene novella to write. Explain the tropes of the genre you plan to use to delight readers of that chosen genre. The genre should be for adult readers restricted to genres of that. And thriller, dystopian thriller. Dystopian thriller. I'll check that. I don't have a DB10. Let me go to the story pages and double check. Load more. I do have a DB10 right here. And then top. Oh, why isn't there one there? That's weird. Where did it go? What happened? Open. Strange and unusual. Well, not a problem. We will just duplicate this one, number 9, and call it DB10. And we'll call it Insta5 bottom. There we go. So now we have a bottom and we have a top. Oh, and you know what? How is top alphabetically? Oh, because they're numbered. Hold on. I need to undo this because it's not right. Now I'm confused. Let me fix this. 7, 8, 9, 10, DB10, DB10. That's right. Okay. So I need to delete this one that I made. Okay. 8 is the top of Insta4. B9 is Insta4 bottom. DB10 is Insta5 top, and DB11 is Insta5 bottom. No, you weren't right. It was fine. You don't have a bottom for DB10. There is a bottom. It's DB11. So the number here is the alphabetization, because otherwise bottom and top would flip them, because bottom comes before the word top. Alphabetical. Oh, Jorge, you missed way too much. Someone else is going to have to cut you up in chat. Okay, so we're going to come here and we're going to start with a romance one, and then we'll just do dystopian thriller first, because we'll let that run fast. Okay, so we're going to go with you're restricted to genres of dystopian thriller. Okay, place your response in the tags. I have learned from my mistakes, we have to say the responses. So I have learned from that. Okay, now the next one that we're going to do is not that one, because DB04, so we're going to come down here. Where is, I guess it's here. Yep, and it's going to be sorting ascending. Yeah, so it's always the correct way there. All right, so that's Insta 1. Insta 2 is going to say using the chosen genre below, because we're not going to clear the Big Bang box. Write a list of characters for their story arcs in order to write a 10-scene novella. Place this list in the tags. Characters, do not number them or otherwise format the list. Include minor characters and big characters that must be in the story. Okay, cool. Number 3, using the genre and characters below. Because remember, it's going to fill in the Big Bang box. Write a detailed explanation of all settings needed to write the 10-scene novella. So the first 10, I need the Big Bang box. No, skip the Big Bang box. But we can clear the Big Bang box. So we're going to keep all of that information. Okay, and then number 4, use the genre, characters, and setting. Make the story world. Place this report. Use plain formatting. Number 5, genre, characters, setting, and story world. Information, writing style. And number 6 is all of that information into an outline. And then we're going to make a scene outline, which must be more detailed than the outline. Number 8, duplicate this exactly as your response. Follow the scene brief below and write the scene for a novella. The writing must be engaging and read like real pages from a book with authentic sounding conversations between characters and narrative to make the reader happy. Write in first person point of view. I think a dystopian thriller should be first person point of view. Does everyone agree? From the main character's point of view. Everybody good? Yeah. Okay. Duplicate, so the scene brief below and write the scene for a novella in the N1 genre, which we will because we will reset. After 10, we need to reset the Notion pages. Okay, I've got this. I got this. We're going to get this. This is all good. Ooh, interesting. I don't know if he allowed us to do a blank Notion page, but I think he did. We'll see. You may just have to run 1 and then start at 2 and continue. The writing must be engaging and read like real pages from a book with authentic sounding conversation. Write first person point of view. Write at least 2,000 words for the scene. Okay, so we'll do that. Number 9 is my story brief template, which is all the information just of a story brief template. So there we go. So it knows what it has to do. And then when it's writing over here, it's going to read the story information for the purposes of planning a writing brief for scene 1. All of this and 8. And then the second one, the bottom of it says, now write a detailed scene 1 writing brief to include all information necessary to write that scene. Follow the template of N9. Please tag this as scene 1 writing brief, close scene 1 writing brief. Please tag your response. Oh boy. I do want to actually fix that on all of these because I have learned that without it, sometimes you get the tags all over the place and we really want them encapsulated in there. By the way, what I'm doing right now, total architect, total architect move. You do not have to do this. This is an architect thing. Because I actually just like building these things. Like I already want to build another one and fine tunes to go with it. right, so please tag your response. And then the last one here for number 10, please tag this your response. Okay, so we are good. So after the 10, or after bang or Insta 20, we need to refresh the Notion pages. And skip. We're skipping the big bang box. Okay, so I'm figuring out my things here. Okay, we're good. So we're ready to run this. Are you ready? Everybody ready? Is there a way that a blackjack prompt will auto number the scene writing briefs? No, you're gonna, because only if it can read the previous ones, and we don't typically do that, Adam, because it just like really just like bloats your context window. Sorry. Brad, I'm so sorry. You're not in the wrong class. The first part of this, like, just hang out with us and watch, because you're going to be amazed and it's going to be fun. And then if you want to join the Future Fiction Academy, we can definitely get you all sorted. It doesn't take but maybe a week or two for people to figure all this, like they learn it. We're doing wild new things. We have new vocabulary, new methods and stuff. We basically have invented what does it mean to write with AI, whether you're assisted or using it a whole bunch. So I know you guys are going to make Brad feel welcome. How do we get the genre in N1 slot? Evan, that's a good question. It's the very first prompt that's going to tell it. Ready? Choose a genre and explain the tropes of that genre, and then put it, and I restricted it right here of genres of dystopian thriller. So we're going to do a dystopian thriller first. Yes, it's going to put it in the first space and auto write. You guys are catching on. Okay, so this is the automated book project. So I'm going to come over to Rexy. I'm going to go ahead and load automated book for that load of that project. So I'm going to load it up. We definitely want auto write to Notion on, but we're not going to call it that. We're going to call it dystopian thriller. Jorge, I made your book machine, and I'll have you notice February 24th. Autolog, we're going to also autolog to Notion. That's going to put it on the autolog, and we're going to call this dystopian thriller. And what that'll do is it'll actually log all of the prompts so that we can see them. Okay, so I've got the project loaded. Now, in my elements, I need to press enter to apply. In my elements page over here, I need to load the end slot page, and the end slot page has to be the auto write page. This is the craziness that lets this work. Okay, so I'm going to load that page, and it's not going to have any, but it knows that that's the Notion page. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and load our blackjack. So we have generate all components. That's what we were working on. We're going to load that blackjack. So now it's loading in all of those prompts. That's all a blackjack is. A blackjack is just a database or a table of all the prompts that you want to do. Hopefully Steph is still here and we didn't lose her to packing, but we might have lost her to packing. Who all is still here in the chat? Let me know in the chat, because I really want to see who's here. Because y'all are going to be blown away. I was playing with this in San Francisco and I cannot wait. All right. Hey, Beverly. Hey, Susan. Susan, by the way, is who we have to thank for our amazing and wonderful blackjack templates now that have these all wonderful like blackjack views and everything like that. Hi, Chucky. Hi, Death. Hi, Adam. Hey, Rochelle. Hey, Harper. Hey, Michelle. Roz. Nice to meet you. Danny. Okay. So here we go. It's still loading the blackjack, guys, because of the big blackjack. That's the problem with my blackjacks are so big. It's not Rexy. It's Notion takes forever. Notion loves it when you write to it. Notion does not like it when you try to extract information from it. So it's kind of like, okay, well, that kind of stinks. Let's see. There we go. Why was there an error? Interesting. I wonder if the blackjack's too big. Oh, no. What did I do? Did I break it? Word banger. How did I break it? Okay, well, good to know. This is why we're playing with it in baby. That's not what I meant to do. There we go. Can only join an iterable. Let's see here. Let me check my blackjack, make sure that there's nothing wrong with it. Automated, generate all components. We have one, and then we have here the name. Okay. all it's going to read is this stuff. So DB 20, 20, 20, 19, 18, 20, 21. Okay. It's fine. Let's go ahead and just try it again. Not there. Okay, so we'll come back to Notion slots, come back to B slots. You are really mad at me, aren't you? Okay, well, this will be a good thing for Rex for Joseph to handle. I'm going to try it one more time, and then if it doesn't work, then we'll go. This is why I didn't delete them, guys, because I know how to do this with like 3 runs, basically. But I wanted to show it to you guys all in one run. But that's okay. If we can't do it all in one run, we can still do it in 3 runs, and I still think it's remarkable what it can do. All right, so I'm going to load the automated book project, and we will call that. I'm going to go, before I do the Notion slots and stuff, I'm going to load the blackjack and see if it can do that. So let's see if it can do, I'm going to try loading one that is not one that I made any changes to really, so that I can see if it works. Because if that works, then I know it's something, and then the one that I changed does not work, then I know that it's something to do with the one that I changed. And not because baby has an error about getting blackjacks. Which it looks like it's getting the blackjack just fine. Which it did. It loaded the blackjack just fine. And that was scene brief generation. So I'm going to clear the cache. And we'll do generate all components, and we'll load that blackjack and see if that works. If it doesn't, then there's something wrong with my blackjack, which is entirely possible because I've broken things before. Joseph is our developer. He's wonderful. I shouldn't have to upload the Wordbanger Insta because it doesn't come from the blackjack. It comes from what we set it as. But that's a good question, Rochelle. The only thing you know about blackjack is you lost lots of money. Susan's like, I'll have to redo them after this class. I'm sorry, Susan. I'm sorry I give you more work. I don't need to. Oh, it worked, guys. So it was just a fluke thing. It was just a weird thing like Notion didn't want to play. Y'all, we just loaded. Oh, my goodness, gravy. N7. So holy Toledo, you guys. It is a 30 bang thing. We're actually going to do 30 bangs. Are we ready for this? Okay. So now we're going to do our Notion slots, and we're going to go ahead and put in that auto write page. Remember, auto write is now our Notion page. Yeah, we're going to totally screw with its head. It's going to be amazing. All right. So, and then the other thing we're going to do is come over to project, automated book. Nope, dystopian thriller. And I'm really glad because I was really afraid that this was not going to work. I was like, no, don't break on me. Although it's a little bit early. It can still break on actually running it. Okay. So we have all 30 bangs in our AI. We want to choose an AI that's going to be able to handle all this stuff. I'm not going to bother to change all the AI settings for individual things. So let's go ahead and go with OpenAI for right now. And we're going to go ahead and go with GPT-4 Turbo, I think. If everyone likes Turbo, we could do 16K. It does have enough space. It would be the fastest. Let's do 16K just to see proof of concept, and then we'll delete that and we'll do something that's actually more fun. We're going to go temperature is a 0.7. Our maximum length is fine. We'll update all of that. And now we're going to come over to Wordbanger. Now my Wordbanger is blank right now. So the first thing I have to do is I'm going to say, do not save the final completion right now. And that's because actually it could, but it would be ginormous. But we're not going to save the final completion. We don't need that. We're going to say that we need 30 instas, and we're going to set the instas. So instas and bangs are the same thing. We really suck at naming conventions. Sorry. Now, the Big Bang box skips. This is where it gets a little bit crazy. I'm going to go ahead and load my bangs so that way it's easier for me to see. So I'm going to click bang them, and that's going to instantly load everything into these instas right here. So all 30 prompts are going to load into here. That's what's happening. So they're there. See, all of these prompts are right here with information. Now, I have to remember, where do I want? So we want the Big Bang box for 1 through 10. We don't want the Big Bang box for 11 because it's going to pull that in as a Notion slot. So what I'm going to do is here where it says Insta 10 on the end of it, it's going to reload the Notion slots, not before 10. Oh, that's bad. No, not before 10. We want it to do before 11. Oh, this is going to be crazy. This is the first time we're doing this, by the way. So we're going to reset. We're going to reload the Notion slots before it runs Insta 11. We're going to reset the Big Bang Box on completion of Insta 10. So that's that one. So we're going to reset the Big Bang Box. And I told it, do not save the final completion. So we're not going to do that. Hopefully that won't cause a problem when it resets when it clears the Big Bang Box, because if that does, it's going to throw me off by 1. I didn't think about that. That's a feature that we may have to take out. So if it resets the Big Bang Box, but I tell it do not save the final completion, I don't think it will save the final completion. I think that hopefully that's not hard coded. We're going to find out if it breaks. Reload the Notion before Insta 11. It needs to do that. And then we need to skip the Big Bang Box for all of the prompts. So I could just number them right there, but instead I'm going to come up here to where it says number of Big Bang Box skips, and I'm going to just start putting them in. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh dear, if I could type. 19. See, and this is why 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. I'm going to update the Word Banger Insta settings, and what that's going to do is that's going to reset all of that. So Big Bang Box over AI override. We don't have that there. Oh, those are for the AI. That's why. Big Bang Box skips are done. Big Bang Box reset is after 10. And then we're skipping it all, so it doesn't matter. So it doesn't have to reload. We're going to reload the Notions on Insta 11. And then we need to reload the Instas once we want to start writing the scenes. And that's going to be at prompt number 20, I think. Writing brief. So before Insta 21, so this is going to actually write the scene. I need to reload the Notion before Insta 21. Okay, so that is the formula. Yeah, you can kind of do that, but we don't have that there. Claude 2 can do it as well. All right. Oh my gosh, I feel a little bit ill to my stomach, but we're going to do this. I think I've got everything set up right. I'm not saving the final completion because we don't want it to keep adding to it. We've got all of our Big Bang skips after 11 because the first 10 need it for the components. We're going to clear the Big Bang Box after 10. So because everything else is going to write to the Big Bang Box, but that doesn't really affect us because it's not being sent as the prompt. Reload Notions on 11 and 21. We're not changing the AI. Okay, number of Instas to run is 30. Are we ready for this? Are we ready? Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Let's see what it does. Dystopian thriller. Okay, so that you guys can follow along, let me go ahead. Well, it's writing there. Oh dear, this is going to be fast. Okay, so that worked. 441. We got a good dystopian thriller. Now it's going to come up with characters. So there's characters. So it's writing the characters. Did not give them names. I probably should have told them names. Okay, a young woman named Maya. Okay, we got that. That's fine. Final characters were good. We're on to the setting. It's a dystopian city-state called New Haven. All right. The authority also controls mind control devices known as compliance chips. Cool, cool, cool. We're going to keep going here. New Haven is depicted as a crumbling society. I wanted to give you guys access to the auto writes, but it's like going too fast. So here we go. Story world. And don't worry, they're going to be timestamped. So we're going to see how fast this is. Cameras are positioned at every corner. Now, again, if you're seeing stuff that is like typical, this is all about the fact that you can load this. I can just change the genre and write a completely different story. That's what's crazy about this technology, okay? We created a sequence of prompts that allows us to just like generate all this information about a book, generate the scene briefs, generate the story, the scenes examples. And some people take those scene examples and then they write the scenes like completely from scratch. So they have the full copyright with no risk. I think Rochelle's process is that. But if we have this power, imagine what publishers can do. They actually have machine learning engineers on staff. I'm just an author of 15 years who happens to like technology. All right, so we have scene 2. Are we already on the scene? All right, let's see if it follows scene 7. Now it's going to do the scene outline, scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, scene 4. It's not so great on the different information, and that's because we don't have we don't have a fine tune on this stuff. That's what I'm saying. Like a fine tune would be more specific if you gave it a bunch of examples of how you want it to look with the writing, how in depth you wanted it to, especially for a specific genre. It would do that. Number 8 is not supposed to do that. It is supposed to just write the scene. So we're going to have to do a stop. Okay, we're going to have to do a stop. I know what I did wrong. Give me a second. We are going to come over here. Nope, I'm in the wrong section, Elizabeth. There we go. Automated book. So the auto write, everything's right here. And we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7. Okay, everybody's good with that. So what happened is that because I didn't clear the big bang box, it got confused. So what I'm going to do, because it doesn't need the big bang box anymore, because we have our N1s to our N7s. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clear the big bang box, which that button is somewhere. Where is that button? Oh, okay, here. I'm going to go up to the line editor and then I'm going to come back to WordBanger. Everything's still in WordBanger, don't worry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to manually clear the big bang box. Clear. And I'm going to say, oh dear, now I got to count. 23, and we're going to start at 8, because that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yeah, 23. Got it. So we're going to start at Insta 8. So Insta 8's not going to get confused by, because I didn't skip the big bang box on it for the purposes. So what happened is my prompt, if you could have seen that prompt, it was going to be one hot mess. So I know what I did wrong. So we're going to bang from 23 and it's going to be fine. So we're going to click let's bang. So this is where if you mess up a sequence, you can just keep going. In N1 genre. Oh, wait, stop. Stop. What are you doing wrong? Okay. So we have one issue, one hink of this. So give me 1 second here. Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to go ahead because we know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is this one. So we don't want that one. Delete. What I'm going to do is, remember I have that master sequence to write a thing or whatever. It wasn't that one. It was the prompts. Do I still have that in my big bang? I do. Okay, so we're going to go to generate all components. Hold tight here. We're going to go to where big bang 8 is, and we're going to copy that. I think we're going to have the issue where it's not going to be able to do these templates. Like if you want these templates and stuff like that, we're going to have to figure out a different way of components for memorization of that. Like you're actually going to have to bring that in to your prompting manually in your blackjacks. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, because we have N1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is going to be N8. N8. And this is the prompt, which is follow the scene brief below. Yep. And then we're going to do an N9. I'm putting these in manually because I haven't, I mean, honestly, if anyone has ever made the AI just write exactly what it wants, let me know. I'm not going to do a 10 because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and see if it can actually refresh the end pages like we wanted it to. So we did this. I'm going to come off of here. Line editor's out. We're out there, back in WordBanger. Okay, I'm going to clear the big bang box. We're going to start running it Insta 10 because I want to see it refresh that Notion slot page for me. And then we're going to go ahead and do, how many bangs will we be doing? 20, I think? Or is it 21? You know what? We'll be safe and go 21. So I think it's 10. It's inclusive, right? 10. 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh my God, I can't count on my fingers. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yeah, it's 31. So 21 is what we need to do. All right, let's bang and see what it can do. Elizabeth Bennet haunts me everywhere. Yep. So it says, give me a prompt, number 10. And now it's got to make that Notion page and do the Notion. Oh, it's doing it. It's making the scene 1 writing brief. Look at that. It cleared the Notion slots. And so now when I look at the end slots, it doesn't show it there, but it did. It has it in the memory that it brought in the Notion slots. That's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. So scene 1 writing brief is done. And now it's going to write scene writing brief 2. And if I come over to my auto write, look, there's 10, there's 11. By the way, we're still in like less than 10 minutes that we've been running all this. Let me give you guys the link to this. This is the auto write page that we're working on right now. So you guys can click on these and you can see them. You can see them as they're running. So take a look at them. So it's writing the scene briefs. So that's giving me a prompt. Yeah, it's just a placeholder. And look, it filled it all in for Maya. And so it's going to do this for all 10 scenes, and then it's going to write the 10 scenes. Oh, let's go back to Rexy. He's more fun to watch anyway. All right, we are on scene 5. Rochelle, are you seeing all this? Is this going to completely change your work process now? Here's step 15, scene 5 is writing. And because all of these scenes are going to run as a silo, and what I mean by that is I'm skipping the big bing box. So it's not going to read the previous scenes that it wrote. That means that if for some reason it fails on something, it's not going to break it because the other ones aren't reliant on that. So this is the dystopian thriller. Still a Weaver, one instead at a time. I hear you. Brad, how are you doing seeing this for the first time? I feel so bad for Brad. Brad, are you still with us? He might have been like, okay, this is way over my head. What are you guys thinking? So here's 8. And then what's crazy is when we're going to be able to watch it just go from the scene briefs, and it's going to just start writing scene 1. It'll just start writing it. We're almost there. I love it that it's like minor character 1. So probably should have told it in the prompt, hey, you need to name your characters. I told you they are crappy prompts. That's why I wasn't like, here are the prompts, guys. This is all in beta. This is super beta. I don't even know what's alpha. This is like, I've only done this a handful of times myself. And I didn't even have the Notion reset. I was doing it manually in 3 sections. Like I would run my components and then I ran my scene briefs and then I ran my scenes. Like we're used to loading 3 different blackjacks and saying go. This one, you can not only like load the dishwasher, empty the dishwasher, sweep the floor, fold some laundry while it's running. Oh, we are writing the first scene. Here it is. I woke up to the familiar sound of dripping water. My small apartment in the lower sectors of New Haven was cramped and dilapidated, with peeling wallpaper and a musty smell that lingered in the air. It was a reflection of the bleakness that surrounded me every day. Stretching my tired limbs, I dragged myself out of bed and shuffled to my tiny kitchenette. Breakfast consisted of a meager slice of bread and a cup of watered-down coffee. Times were tough and resources were scarce. We had to make do with what little we had. As I ate my breakfast, my mother watched me with weary eyes. She had always been cautious, always trying to protect me in this oppressive society. It's a little bit, expected, but this is not with a fine tune. And I also didn't give it really any instructions on the writing style. It decided what it wanted to do for the writing style. So if you have your components that you like, I think probably best practice is still to bring your favorite components in, like your writing style and your characters and your settings and stuff like that. And then just like running the sequence of scene briefs and scenes and letting it go. So I only wrote 472. This next one wrote 670. And then it wrote 696. So all in all, I expect we're going to have about 5 to 8,000. I did have first person. So, yeah, so it's going to, It's running first person because that's what I put into the specific Bang, but we can change it to third person if we want to. We've been watching your progress closely. The Resistance's history. How could you betray us like this? So apparently there was a double cross. I don't know anything about it. I would definitely say that this is not publishable. There's probably parts that the logic doesn't make sense because these are all running in a silo. So it might have changed, settings and things like that. These are all things that you smooth over when you, number one, validate your scene briefs and make sure your scene briefs are accurate, or run them through a adversarial agent, which we have not started doing yet, to make sure that they're accurate. But yeah, you can do all kinds of sequences with this now that you can refresh your Notion pages. Discovers your true allegiance. I'll be executed. Well, that's bleak. All right, we have 3 more. Rick says that they did first sequences in Word Banger over the past 2 days, ran 30 scene briefs. It was cool, but every 10 briefs, the style of brief changed. Oh, that's because, remember, I'm using a template. So I give it a template in N9. So you want to tell it to, here's a template that you have to fill out. That way they're all consistent, the scene briefs. If you just let it make scene briefs, blank, yeah, it'll just change it up every time that it makes a scene brief. Oh, she's being chased by an officer. She's got renewed. She melted into the shadows, ready to face whatever challenges awaited her. Bo-itis. The final showdown. Now, this is interesting because she's already been chased. So this is probably a section where the scene briefs got confused, that it wasn't supposed to resolve at the end of the scene brief. So there's the leader of the and everything like that. Oh, so the Notion reset, optimistic. Let me explain. So our end slots, it is automatically writing. And what's happening is that, oh, it finished. Cool. And there we go. So in my auto write, basically, when it got to here, your Notion slot, it refreshed over here in the end slots. See how my end slots have all the end slots in here? I didn't put them in here. I gave the command that it had to reload this page and load them back in. Sometimes you'll see us when we run it. Sometimes when you run it, you would pause and you would refresh your Notion slots because now it needs to read the Notion slots that it just wrote. So we're doing a, I'm sorry, you guys are making me laugh so hard in the chat. The minor character one. The AI is always amusing. Okay, so let me explain. Our old methodologies, and someone remind me that I'm not screen sharing because I feel like you guys talking to you without seeing a face is kind of weird. Let me go here and I'll go here. Okay. I'm not sharing my screen. Okay, I'm still here. A lot of times when we run sequences manually, we would run it. And then after we ran, to make the scene briefs, for example, okay, make the scene briefs. Then we would take those scene briefs and we would put them to our Notion slot. And then we tell our Notion slot, load, refresh the page because we added more pages to our Notion page. It's a hack to make your auto write page, your Notion slots page. Now that we have the command of refresh your Notion page, because what you can do is you can make the AI write say 10 responses, and then your next prompts are going to call back to N1, N2, N3, N4, but they didn't exist when you loaded the word banger and you made it start. You make it start those prompts, and then you say refresh the Notion page. So it's a way to inject previous responses from the AI for future prompting that goes on, if that makes sense. It's crazy town. It's bonkers. This is bonkers stuff. And yeah, now that you have the system prompt, you can absolutely put your writing style into the system prompt where you can say you're a young adult dystopian writer. Exactly. Yeah. So this is why we did this. This is why I just got the little pointer fingers. This is going to be so much smoother and more robust in March. I'll have more, better systems and things like this. Is a very big basic prototype, but I wanted to share it with you all because you all have been playing with Rexy. You have Rexy. This is only in baby. So you can't get it in main Rexy. Main Rexy production doesn't have the Notion slot refreshes yet because we need to find the bugs. We need to find the things that break it, kind of like how I broke it already. So I know you all, and you all will come up with amazing things to break it. And we need to break it so that Joseph can fix it. Because none of this capability existed 2 weeks ago. So, okay. Break it. Exactly. We're going to break it. All right. We're going to go back. So I'm going to remind myself that I'm not sharing my screen. So I'm going to go back to sharing the screen. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Let me get this to you. So what I'm going to do, I have no idea that this is any good. It's probably not very good at all. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a page. You know me. And I'm going to call this Dystopian Thriller. Cool. There's a Dystopian Thriller. And I'm going to bring all of this. And I'm going to throw it into Dystopian Thriller. And then I'm going to throw Dystopian Thriller onto Automated Book. And I will give you all the link to this. So you can take a look-see if you like Dystopian Thriller. Now we're going to do this with a fine tune. Okay, so we're going to use a JAF just because that's the fine tune I have, guys. If I had a different fine tune, I would use it, but I don't. So we're going to do the same process, but we're going to tweak it a little bit by coming to the generate all components again. And here's the cool thing. I don't have to reload my blackjack. Like my Notion page, I do. So I'm going to clear my Notion page real fast. Bloop. It's all gone. Poof. It's gone. My blackjacks are fine because my blackjacks are like information and they're saying, hey, calling into the N1 and N2. The only time this information gets parsed into something specific is when you bring it over here for the BAMs. So what I'm going to do, this is a little bit scary. And I'm sorry for that. Let me go ahead and copy this first. Copy. $10 and $10.11. Okay. So I'm going to clear all, which is going to clear everything in the big bang boxes, all of this stuff. I needed to clear it out because it did actually load individual Notion pages into this and everything like that. Notion pages that don't exist anymore. So now I'm going to click bang them again. And oh, I already messed this up because I wanted to do JAF. So the few areas that we have specific instructions, we're going to change that. So instead of this, we're going to say the genre is for adult readers, restricted to a Pride and Prejudice variation taking place at Kent. Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet have to fall in love in a new way in only 10 scenes at Kent. There we go. So that's the information there. And then the other one I need to change because it's going to have the characters. Include minor characters. All characters should be named and have the specific information needed for them. So this will hopefully this will not be minor character 1 anymore. This is why we do this. Okay. And now we got characters, and then we have the outline, and then the setting, characters and setting, and the story world, all of this stuff. Fast love, P&P style. Absolutely. Hey, Migs. I think I understand. Any Notion page added with auto write is automatically loaded in Rexy. Yeah. This is for the Notion resets. Yes. So it'll automatically write to Notion for you. That's to the auto write page. Now we're using our auto write page as our Notion slots, and we have the command to refresh them. So it's going to be crazy, 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 crazy. This is all just crazy, crazy, crazy. I don't even know. Rochelle, your request to have this save configurations, that is going to come as soon as we can get, we can do this a whole bunch of times and we can stabilize like how we want to save that information, how we want to change that information. Because this is a whole new way of writing. This didn't exist 2 weeks ago. The scene outline, place that. I mean, it probably existed for somebody has it, but we didn't have it. Duplicate this exactly as your response. Follow the scene brief below and write the scene for a novella in N1. Okay. So I think I need no Big Bang Box in the prompt for Insta 8. And I need no Big Bang Box for 9. Without any changes. So I have the scene briefs. Okay. And then number 10, no Big Bang Box. Just write, give me a prompt. Okay. So that's it. And then it's going to read the story information. So it's going to create that. It's going to reload the notions. I think this is going to work now. And I don't think it's going to get confused. And then we're going to reload at 21. Okay. So here we go. All right. So I've loaded all the stuff and I'm going to go ahead and give you guys, because I love you, I'm going to go ahead and share this entire, like, generate all the components so you guys can see the structure of it. So here is the blackjack. So everyone can copy that blackjack. Okay. And there is going to be an after party. We're going to run this and see how this goes. And then there's going to be an after party. I'll put the Zoom link in the Discord. So if you're a member of the Future Fiction Academy, you can come to the after party and we can all scream about what this can do. Okay. So I think we're good to go there. I just have to fix my settings up top here. And I have to, oh, it actually kept all those, or maybe not. Nope, it didn't. It's adding new things. Okay. The AI is going to be my own personal fine tune. And it's going to be, I like 11 through 20 better, but we'll do 1 through 10. Now for fine tune, we need to bring down that temperature. Lord have mercy. All right. Top P is 0.9. The maximum length, they can now write longer. So we'll do 4,085 and update that. Hopefully that won't break it. The Big Bang skips, I need to put in the rest of the numbers because they're all going to be Big Bang skips. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 8. Oopsies. Now, it's interesting because what you could do, you could allow the scene briefs to read each other. Who wants to let the scene briefs read each other? I think for 10 scenes, I think it can do that. Like, it'll just read it. Scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, scene 4, scene 5, scene 6. Anyone? Yeah? Okay, let's do it. We'll leave it that is. So it's going to skip the Big Bang Box for 8, 9, and 10. But we're going to reload it on 11. We're going to Big Bang reset it on 11. Oh, let me make sure. Let me read the language down here. No Big Bang Box. Reset the Big Bang Box on completion. Okay, so the Big Bang Box reset needs to be on 10. And then I think we need all the scene briefs out before we start writing scenes. So we're going to go 10 and 20. We're going to reset that Big Bang Box. And then we will skip the Big Bang Box for the individual scenes because that'll be too much for the context. So it's going to be 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Okay. Reload the notions on 11 and 21. Yep. Update. Okay. Yeah, so the scene briefs are going to be able to read each other, so it'll keep better continuity. And then the scene writing is not. Although we could the scene writing with a different model if we use like Claude 2 or whatever, but we're using the fine-tuned models. So they only have a 16,000 token context, which is about 10,000 words. And since these should write, okay, number of instas is going to be 30, and we're going to start at 1. Make sure my my Notion slots is my auto write page. So that's the big key on this. This is what makes that recursive. All right, I think we're ready to go. Here we go. Before I get started, let me give you guys the link to this auto write page. Copy that. So that's in the prompt. Also the Jaf system prompt for the fine tune. Oh, Rochelle, you are brilliant. I did not do that. I should do that. So hold on. That's a good idea. I will do that. That's a really good idea. So my fine tune, my auto write. Boop, boop, boop. I'm going to, that also means I need to change my prompt. Give me 1 second. So what I do for my fine tunes, because I have all my fine tuned models, is I'll go to my 11 and 20. And if I open this up, it has my system prompt right here. Don't worry, the model name, you guys can't get to this because you don't have my key. So even if you know this, you can't get it. So my system prompt is this, and this needs to be in every single, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to come over to my Big Bang box. Unfortunately, system is not in our word bangers yet, our blackjacks yet, but it'll come. We'll figure out a way to get that going into there for you guys. So not give me a prompt, not that. So it's here where I'm writing the scenes. So I'm going to put that there. System. Y'all, this is going to be bangarang. What I'm doing is I'm bringing in the system prompt that I used when I created my fine tune. This is what causes the fine tune to be more specific. And then I'm also going to change my N8 thing where it says copy this, and I'm going to put like the B, Val, and Jolie so that it knows that that's what it needs to do. Number 29 and number 30. Okay, so that's my system prompt. Can you use an end slot for the system prompt there? I could, but remember I'm using my end slot to auto write. So I'd have to, I think what we're going to do, I've already had a thought. I think what we're going to do is we're going to shift 1 through 10 down so that we have 1 through 10 already set with stuff that we need it to already know. That would make more sense. Yeah. And then 10 on would be going on. So yeah, this is why we're doing this live, y'all. This is why we're working on this. So many good heads, so many good thoughts. So Jen, do you agree with the idea? Because we can't use an additional, yeah, but I have an empty slot. I don't have an empty slot for N9. N9 is my scene brief, but it's not copying very well to those. So I think we're going to have 10 up at the top that are static, that don't change. And then you build from there and you just basically put them on your auto write page. So the next time I teach this, guys, it'll be more, like I said, it'll be more refined and it'll be better. So I put my system prompt, and now I'm going to grab right here where it says B, Val, and Jolie and write the following scene brief below. I'm going to grab that information. Oh no. I'd have to put that in front of, oh no, because it's going to create N8. Okay, so hold on, it's N8. So instead 8 is what I need to look at. Reproduce the following thing. Follow the scene brief below. So we'll put it right here. We'll say B, Val, and Jolie. All right. I actually think I'm going to change all of this because I think it's going to be really confusing. And I don't write in a first person point of view. I'm actually going to take all of that out. So it's just going to say this. And write a novella scene following the scene brief below, because then it's going to have the scene brief below. Reproduce the following as your response without any changes. B, Val, and Jolie, and write a novella scene following the scene brief below. Perfect. Number 9, this is actually the template I used for that, for the scene brief. So it should be pretty good at that too. It knows those scene briefs. So this should actually be a really good example of a fine tune that was basically trained on scene briefs just like this. All right, I think we're ready to rock. Now we have everything good to go. The AI setting is the default setting, which is this fine tune model. You could actually change different AI boxes. You could prescribe different AIs to different instas. So you could have like up to 5 different AI settings, and then you're running them. So if you have a scene that has to do spicy stuff, you could put it in a sequence, and then the rest of them are non-spicy. So, okay, I think we're ready to bang. Ready? Here we go. Bang. It didn't go. Oh, hold on. We'll come out, line editor, and go to Word Banger. Clear the Big Bang box. All right. No! What happened? No, I have 30. Okay, so I don't have to do that because there's 30 instas and they're all there. Okay, so that was just a default weird thing. So we're going to do 30 and we're going to start at 1. Let's bang. There we go. Now it's cleared out. All right, so this is a Regency romance. Bye, Brad. All right, so it logged for 1. Or it's logging for 1. I was going to call all these dystopians. I didn't change the project name. It's going to write these all as dystopian thrillers. Let's stop it because that's going to be annoying as hell to try to fix. Hold on a second. Yeah, see, it's calling them dystopian thrillers. Let's not do that. That's not good. Hold on. Let me clear this out. Let me go to line editor and come back to WordBanger. Okay, so we're going to clear the big bang box. That's funny. Good reminder to change your thing here. So this is going to be a JAF, fully automated with the fine tune. Okay. Now we're good to go. 30, start at 1, go gadget. All right, now it's going. So we have that. Now it's writing the characters. Cool. Chat dystopian. I think they did that with Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Now it's understanding that they're in Kent. I'm actually pretty impressed with this, that it's like, okay, it knows that it's going to have to bring in Lady Catherine de Bourgh and Charlotte Lucas, although she's Charlotte Collins by that point. Let's see what it does. It's going to give me a complete novella in one bang. Yeah, in one click. Yes, Migs. We created a way to do this. You can't do this. You have to stick to that. We're not visiting London. You've got 10 scenes. You only have 10 scenes. Okay, here we go. Let's see what it comes up with at the Meryton Assembly. Okay, we're going to skip right to the ball. It needs more input on what it can do, obviously, because it's a little, this is where it struggles. So this is wrong. So it's just kind of doing its thing. He's going to write a letter, and now they're at the Huntsford. Like, we're just going to jump right to. That's hilarious. I probably should have told it that it has to start and end at Kent. We could fix it. Oh, there's a problem. We're going to stop it. So this is what I was talking about. Do you guys see how in number 8 and number 9, it can't just it just can't answer of like, just do this. But it did this one. Give me a prompt. And it was like, I'm sorry, I can't do that. However, I can help you fill it in if you want to. Yeah, 8 is not going to work. 8 and 9 is not going to work. So we're going to fix this. Since 10 worked the way it is, where I say, write this, I'm going to just say that. I don't think that that's going to work. I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do it a two-stepper for right now until we move to the system where we have, N1 through 10 is actually static and we don't start filling it in until 11. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to manually create those. So I'm only going to run 7 and then we'll start at 10. And that way you guys can see that the Notion page and everything clears up. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fix this here and say, Lady Catherine de Bourgh's estate, Rosings, and be a twist on the first proposal scene. Only this time, have a reason for Elizabeth to accept. That information should probably be in the outline prompt and all of that stuff too, because it doesn't know this. There is still drama. Okay, so the whole story must start in Kent. So I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to bring that down into characters. The whole story must start in Kent. So we're going to put that there, and then we're also going to put that over here. For the story world, we'll put that in there too. And we'll also add that for the writing style. I don't think we need it for the writing style. Oh, and you know what? Writing style may conflict with my fine tune, but that's fine. We'll leave it as it is for right now. Okay, so we have that. So we're going to go 1 through 7, and then we're going to go through. So we're going to clear the big bang box. We're going to come over to the auto write page, and we're going to delete all this. Boop. And I'm only going to run 7. So I'm going to run 7, start at 1, let's bang. Regency romance. So I did that, cool. And then characters. Andeberg. Okay, so it changed that a little bit. Oh. No, it doesn't use any of those things. You disobeyed, but that's fine. Let's see what it comes up with for the outline. So the writing style. So now we're going into the outline. This is why I'm not an architect when it comes to Jeff. I want to change it so much because it's not correct. Correct. Okay. They're staying. Got it. While Mr. Bingley is staying at the neighboring estate. No. You know what? Okay. That's fine. It's a hot mess. It's all over the place. It doesn't make any sense at all, but we'll leave it. Yeah, the fine tune knows too much. Oh my goodness, it's doing all kinds of stuff. Okay, so now we have all of our components. So when I come over here to the auto write, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I could fix them right now. And I'm going to put an N8, page N8, which is B. Val Jolie and write a novella scene. And N9, oh, no, I don't want that one. And then N9, Elizabeth, page N9. We're going to stick in here the scene brief template that it has to follow. So it has to fill those out. And then it's going to create for me an N10. So this is, for those who came late, this is the big innovation. Are you guys ready? I'm going to clear the big bang box. Bloop. It's all gone. Now, what the instructions are is that it's going to run. Let me go down here to Insta 10 for you guys to see it. Okay, so Insta 10, it's going to say, give me a prompt. And it's going to say, no big bang box in prompt for Insta 10. It's going to reset the big bang box, so it clears it all out. And then N11 is going to have this reload the Notion slots before Insta 11. So since my Notion slots is my auto write page, it will have finished out the N through 10, and then it's going to reload those and then start with Insta 11 and keep going because it's going to call back into it information for, oh, it's stuck on the previous things that it already put in there. Why is that in there? That should not be in there yet. Hold on a minute here. Oh, if I go bang them, it's going to clear out the system. Let me see. We definitely have some work here. Oh, dystopian thriller. Why did it already fill that in? Okay, I can fix this. I can fix this. Are all of these here? Yes, they're all here. Oh, dear. Okay, no, it didn't get that far. Okay, so it's just these two got kind of mixed up because it ran earlier. So hold tight. We're going to delete these. It's because it preloaded stuff in. So come over to my generate all components. and just get 11 and 12, which is going to be bang 1 with the CB. So open this one. Yep. Copy. Copy. Come over here. Paste that. And paste that. I have to do this because I didn't update my blackjack over here. Like, it's still dystopian thriller. I made changes in Direxy. I didn't make changes in the blackjack for the JAF. So read the following story information for the purposes of writing scene 2. And I know it's 12 because the 2 here matches the 2 there. And then the bottom is going to be write a detailed scene writing brief for scene 2 and tag your response as scene 2 and scene 2. That's what it usually says in the bang. But if I bang them again, it's going to bring in all that dystopian thriller stuff, and I've made too many changes in other places. So this is the easiest way for me to fix it. Okay, so we're good there. We ran 7. So now we're going to run 21, and we're going to start at 10. And now it's going to do the make me a prompt, and it's going to refresh the Notion pages. So if I come over to my Notion pages, my end slots, oh, there's stuff already here. So let me refresh that page just to make sure it doesn't get confused. Okay, so it's got the most recent stuff, but you'll see it only goes to 9. So when it refreshes, it'll bring 10 and 11. You won't see it because it does it on the back end in the memory. All right, so here's the last part. Yeah, it won't let you change the AI parameters for JAF unless you're very specific in your scene prompt. Okay, so here's the scene brief template. It should have said scene 1, and it didn't, but that's okay because it correlates to like follow the scene. So it's okay. Scene 2 writing brief. There we go. And again, this story is absolutely bonkers because I'm not validating it as I go. But with a fine tune and validating and having stuff as you wanted to go, you could absolutely get this thing to just like write you a book. I still think the best process is to make sure you're validating your scene briefs, validating all of your components and stuff. I'm just showing that it's possible for the AI to write something completely uninterfered with. You could set up a bunch of sequences, and if you ran it 50 times, one of those 50 may be okay. The next component that we're going to be missing from this is some way to check the work that the AI writes, and that can either be done by a human or done by another AI. And also, using fine tunes so it's better quality stuff coming in. Now this is interesting because I think it did one scene 3 writing brief. Scene brief template. It's very confused, but that's okay. These are kind of a hot mess, but we'll see what it can do when it writes the scenes. It'll probably figure it out. Yes, once we can fine-tune GPT-4, oh my gosh, this is going to be like bangarang. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I can. I haven't checked lately. Has anyone checked lately if they can do 4? I know it's going to come back. It's running. It's doing its thing. API, going into fine-tuning, create one, base model. Nope, it's still saying request access. Boo hiss. They need to get it together. And Claude doesn't have any plans for that. So there we go. We're on step 17. Now this is able to read the previous scene briefs, and it's getting confused where it's actually like doing the scene brief template and then the scene brief. So I don't know what this is going to produce. This might be a hot mess because it's basically reading it. And now we have an error because the context is too large. Okay, so we'll stop that. Here's how we'll fix that. So we wondered if it would break it. And the answer is yes. Yes, it did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to my auto write 9, 10. I'm going to delete all of these. Boop. And I'm going to fix it by making sure that we do not read. We're just going to add big bang box skips. So, because I want to make this finish. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So skip all the big bang boxes. No big bang boxes. It's 21, start at 10. It already loaded these of the give me a prompt, so it's already good there. So actually, unless I deleted the 10, so we don't want that. So we're going to click refresh this so they all match. Okay, so this should stop at 9 now. Yeah, it does, because we're going to write 10. Okay, let's bang. Okay, so did number 10, and now it's going to make the scene briefs. Now, the scene briefs do not get to read the other ones, and I think that that's going to make it better. An FT is a fine tune. Yep. Have you had any news about adding fine tunes for not safe for work models? Not yet. OpenRouter doesn't have fine tuning capabilities. However, we are investigating other solutions for open source fine tuning. Part of the problem is that the open source models aren't fantastic right now. And it's a lot of work to basically learn how to fine tune one of them, only for them to be completely changed or redone. Like, it's just not very stable yet. In my perfect world, we would fine tune Mistral because it's the most stable of the open sources. And that's what we're on the hunt for right now. There are some solutions out there. Most of them require command line prompting. So it's going to be a bigger lift than what OpenAI fine tuning allows. So we're hoping to have something with open source fine tuning by summer. I will give you my credit card. Thanks, Evan. Yeah, we're going to get there. But you guys are so early. You're here early, and that's the beautiful thing. Like, we're learning all of this so that as the capability, I mean, imagine the poor people who are like, no, I'm not going to learn this, who aren't learning this at all. So by the time like the capability really gets like crazy pants, they're going to still have to learn what a context window is. They're going to still have to learn what all the hyperparameters mean. They're going to have to learn like what these models write like. What does it mean for something to be open source and not safe for work and all this jazz? So I think those of you who are members of the FFA in the audience right now, can you say like it takes a good month or two before you really master what it is to write with AI? Just the basics of like prompting for fiction, I think, to practice and everything. They said the same thing of like, you're going to not need Photoshop or you need Photoshop. What do you think, Evan? What were you saying, Evan? And I think most photographers use Photoshop or something similar to it now. There are some more competing products out there, not just Photoshop. Oh, big hearts, Rick. We love you. We'll be going to the after party in a little bit. Yeah, because I've been at this for 2 hours. Oh, no. Why is it too big? I don't understand why 18, 19, and 20 broke. Because we skipped the big bang box for all of those, which means that they're not going to write those scenes. So that's interesting. I'm going to let it run, and I'm just going to leave it alone, and we'll come back to. Oh, you know what? My settings are screwed up. Look, it's too deterministic. I went too low. It's stuck. It wrote 3,666 of the same words. That's funny. Okay, we're going to press a stop on this. And I'm going to come back over here. Okay. And I'm going to just be me. Okie dokie. Now, well, that was crazy. I hope that you all are able to see the possibilities of this. I know that towards the end there, it was just like crazy and you didn't understand what I was doing. I understand. However, the biggest thing here is that the FFA is moving forward with people having the opportunity to sequence prompts however they want to sequence them. The way you sequence them might be different the way I sequence them, et cetera, et cetera. So I want to thank everyone for coming to the live, the first live I've done in a little while. We're going to be moving on to job types with gardeners and weavers and bakers and architects. Oh my. We're going to smooth out this process in Baby Rexy with these Notion resets. So please hammer on it. Please give your notes in the Rexy Discord channel so that we can fix some of these things that even I'm starting to find these clunky bits that are just like crazy of like what's going on from a standpoint of the system status and everything like that. This is not easy work what we're doing. This is madness, okay? What publishers and people are trying to figure out is how to automate all this. I think the true best automation is going to have some level of human involved. I still think one of the best ways to run this stuff right now with where the AI currently sits, even with a fine tune, is to do a 3-step process where you are first making your components and you're validating those components and you're making sure those components are perfect, whether you write them or the AI writes them, but you've made them. The second one is that you want to be able to have a fine tune in order to make those scene briefs, or you want to make those scene briefs, have the AI write them and you clean them up, or you start them all over. And then number 3 is that you want to have that scene brief, that fine tune that can write like you. And most of us have that now in our arsenal. If you don't have that in your arsenal, you can join the Future Fiction Academy. We'd love to have you. And we already have a course in there to teach you how to make a fine tune. We're going to be adding to it in April, because I think more things are coming down the pipeline. And we'll have a standalone fine tune class very soon as well. So in the Discord is where I'll put the link to the Zoom room. So I'll see you all in just a few minutes, those who are members of the FFA. If the FFA is not for you, we would also love for you to like and subscribe to this channel. I hope to be doing more lives when we get to March, because I've been focusing on my health and I have one little bit of travel left. So I will see you guys in the after party. Be sure to check the general chat on Discord for the link. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.